This is the story of a wildlife mystery, so big, it's jumbo-sized. Almost nothing was known about these unusual elephants until now. They were recently discovered to be unique to the tropical island of Borneo. Then came news that their survival is in peril, and now the race is on to save them. The jewel of Borneo. Its ancient tropical rainforests hide remarkable animals, many found nowhere else in the world. Living on an island means that animals here have evolved into wonderful and unique forms. The largest of them are its pygmy elephants. They are rare and elusive and mysterious. Until now, it was thought that they had descended from domesticated elephants introduced to Borneo only 300 years ago as gifts to local sultans, and that these had escaped and gone wild and become a pest. They're smaller than other Asian elephants, possibly an adaptation to life in deep jungle. Scientists calculate they have lived here not for 300 years, but more like 300,000 years. This amazing discovery has given the elephants new protection. But much of the riverside forest has been cut down for oil palm plantations. Could they block elephant migration routes or pose other dangers? Scientists believe they walked here during an ice age when sea levels were lower. But why are they found only in northeastern Sabah? There is a mountain range that blocks much of Sabah from the rest of Borneo, but not all. There must be another reason. It seems the answer is because this area has something that elephants need. Good soil, rich in minerals. Here lie the highest concentration of minerals in Borneo. And when not supping on mud, they eat more than 160 different kinds of plants. They also have a passion for fruit, especially figs. The family can find ripening figs at any time of year. But on this tree, most of the fruit is out of reach. An orangutan and her young baby have it all to themselves. But this female is determined to get some. She may have to rely on the generosity of the orangutan. Finding figs is hard work in this heat. After a good day's feeding, this tusker takes a well-earned break. The family often crosses the Kinabatangan River. But one night, instead of continuing downstream as they have been for the past few days, they move back upstream. When rain comes to Sabah, All except the elephants, who enjoy the cooler temperatures. Much of the elephant's home range has changed dramatically over the years. Great plantations of oil palm trees now stretch across their migration routes. In some places, the natural forest has been removed, right down to the riverbank. If elephants cannot follow the river, they must detour around plantations. Changes like this increasingly bring elephants and people together. Finally, the family gets to cool off by the river. It's probably the first time they've been here since Fig was born. Now Fig meets the river that will run through the center of her life. She may still be drinking and swimming here 70 years from now. Flora's life could be considerably shorter if she can't get feisty off her back.
On this ground. Next time, it will be plantation.
Flora is curious about the logs. Even a logging camp has plenty to interest a curious elephant. Fern's trumpet means it's time to go. At least for now, the family can continue on its journey. And seem restless. They continue feeding. Elephants eat for up to 16 hours a day.
There are so many of them. At first I don't recognize them. I think it is another family. Then I see Flora, Feisty, Fig, all my family. But there are many others too.
There could be 50 elephants here from several families.
It's a family reunion. They greet by smelling each other. Some clean their trunks by rolling under their food.
To meet relations you haven't smelled for months, the trunk must be in top condition. This gathering is not such a happy occasion.
I see an elephant with a bad wound. There is a rope coming from it. It has been caught by a snake. There's another one with much older wound. Then I see a youngster. This is terrible. Another elephant shows concern. How can it survive?
Some wounds carry a certain death sentence. Infection is likely. Perhaps gangrene has already set in. These horrific injuries must be made known to his colleagues. Wild pigs are the real target of the snares. No longer will Bert ever be in doubt of the elephant's whereabouts. He doesn't have to follow every footstep. He can leave the deepest mud to the elephants.
Feisty and Flora are fascinated by her collar. Flora wants to wear it.
But what does their future hold? A baby elephant learns a great deal in its first few years. Fig will learn the family migration trails and where they now cannot go. The satellite data confirms Bert's discovery that his elephant family needs this land. But there is hope. Saba's government is now working with oil palm plantations to protect and replant the riverside forest, turning it into a corridor of life for the migrating elephants. Everywhere, she's more likely to track him.
I think one day Flora will be the matriarch. I hope she will be the one to lead the family into the future.
Flora, Feisty, Fig and all the others in this remarkable elephant family have inspired the people of Saba to save them. We now know more about Borneo's pygmy elephants than ever before. Once considered exotic pests, these wonderful and unique elephants do belong here. Fortunately, Saba's government has moved fast to protect them by ending large-scale logging on public lands. So long as they are free to travel their ancient migration routes, their future here on their island home will be secure.